all, back in August I shared my progress on my Heritage Roscoe project. Well, after getting that gun pretty much as done as I wanted to with it, I moved on to working onto my Taurus 856 TORO revolver. This 856 TORO is one that I bought back in 2024 to get a red dot revolver into my testing ring, but since then I've decided to do a whole lot of work to it. In this video, I'll outline what I've done to this gun so far. It's still a work in progress, but I've done a lot more to this gun than I have to the Roscoe. Let's hop right into it. This 856 was bone stock when I got it back in 2024. Once I received it, I realized that I had some short-term goals for the gun, just to make it a little bit more pleasant to shoot last year. Those were pretty simple, and that was that I wanted to make the double-action trigger pull a little bit smoother and a little bit lighter, and I wanted to have better stocks on the gun to better clear a speed loader. Those are two pretty simple things to do. I swapped the hammer spring and the rebound spring in this revolver to make the trigger pull a little bit better, and then I tossed on these Pachmeyer grips that better clear a speed loader like the Safariland J Comp for K-frames that I've got here. However, after getting into my Roscoe project, I decided that I wanted to do something similar to what I did to this Roscoe, to this 856 here. This led to a lot more work, but I'm really enjoying the project so far. On this gun, I've done quite a bit so far, which includes bobbing the hammer, beveling the barrel a little bit, performing a melt job, slicking up the trigger, and even refitting the side plate to the gun. I use simple hand tools for this project, and a sanding technique that I showed in the Roscoe video for cleaning up the edges and doing some polishing. The hammer bob is the most obvious external thing I've done to this 856. I like the practicality of a bobbed hammer, and I think it looks pretty great too. I know that folks might wonder why I didn't just get an OEM Taurus bobbed hammer to throw in the gun, and to answer that, it's a twofold answer. Firstly, I like to do the work myself. It sounds simple, but for a project like this in which I'm doing it for me, I'm enjoying it, so this is just a thing I wanted to do. Secondly, a new OEM hammer is actually kind of hard to source right now, and if I did manage to find one, it would actually be a substantial portion of what I paid for the gun. This Taurus 856 TORO cost me $270 last year. And in 2025, a replacement hammer on places where I've looked is anywhere from 25 to 35 bucks, plus shipping and taxes and whatnot. And that's more than 10% of what I paid for the gun. Needless to say, I don't need to put an OEM hammer in here, and I'm really happy with how this turned out. Moving to the front of the gun, I have started to bevel the barrel. The 856 is pretty slab-sided at the front, and I found that to be a little detrimental when holstering the gun. I'm simply putting a bevel on the front of the gun and then cleaning it up. This is one of the areas that I'm still very much working on this 856 project. Next up is the melt job. A melt job is simply taking the harsh, sharp edges on the gun and breaking them into cleaner, smoother edges. I've done this for comfort in the hand and to make the gun feel a whole lot more premium. So far, I've smoothed out the back of the frame near the hammer itself, the two ledges by the top strap, the trigger guard, both inside and outside, the front leading edge of the frame, and part of the yoke. I think that this is one of the biggest things that makes this cheap revolver feel a lot more special. One nice thing about this 856 is that I also don't have to re-blue anything because it's a stainless steel finished gun. For the internals, I've just gone through and cleaned them up a fair bit. I've removed burrs that were on moving parts, fitted some better springs, and made sure that all of the manufacturing imperfections on the inside of the gun were gone. Moving to the outside of the revolver, but still talking about the insides, I've refit the side plate to the side of the frame here. On this 856, the side plate was so tight that it was actually peening itself when you put the gun back together. I found that the edges for the side plate needed a little bit more clearancing, so I cleaned them up. It was a pretty simple thing, but now it's made taking this gun apart and putting it back together a whole lot easier, and this should help out with the longevity of this revolver, as I do plan on keeping it for a good long while. After doing all the work to the 856 TORO, I did test the gun for reliability. With removing a lot of hammer mass and then swapping some of the springs, I wanted to make sure that I wouldn't have light primer strikes with the ammo that I actually shoot through my guns. So, we're just shooting irons. We're just really doing reliability testing. I've got a mix master of various 38 and 38 plus Ps loaded up between the gun and speed strips. See how it does. I'm just going to be alternating between targets here. So come up here. Come up here. Up. That was not good. That was a light strike. We will toss that round aside here. Now these are Privy Partisan semi-wad cutters. They are hard primered ammo. I have had issues with these in my Model 15 and my old Model 36. So I chalked it up to the ammo. I've got that shell over here. I do have a fairly good hit on it. It could just be a bad primer here. Let's try it again. Come up here. Now it went through that time. So this is all 158 grain lead round nose. Let's see if it works here. So this one here is all of that European kind of harder primered stuff. Let's see if we have any light strikes. So come up here. I did have a single light strike with this PPU 158 grain semi-wad cutters, but only one, and it was very early into my testing. With the rest of the PPU ammo I shot through the gun, and of course the federal ammo I've put through it, I've had no hiccups whatsoever. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to call that a 54. Not great. I haven't really shot this gun very much, especially from iron sighted. Despite how this 856 looks right now, I do plan on doing more work to it. I'm going to finish beveling the front of the barrel, and I want to get some of the polish spots to be a little bit more of like a high sheen polish. I'm also wanting to fit better stocks to the gun, as the Packmeyers that are on there right now are better than the OEM rubber ones, but they're worse than what I would normally like to have on a gun like this. I'm probably going to copy what I did for the Roscoe and do Magna stocks with a grip adapter, but I'm going to go for a more practical material than a faux mother of pearl. I do plan on tossing an optic back on the gun, but the OEM optic plate sheared a screw while attempting to put an optic on, so I'll have to source another plate for the gun. The screw was a hair too long for the posts due to the deck height changing a little bit with the O-Sight SE I was trying to toss on this gun. It happens, it's frustrating, but it happens, so be it. Overall, I'm quite pleased with this project so far. What do you think of what I've done to this 856 Toro? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you for watching till the end of the video, and massive thanks to our channel members, patrons, and donors. If you'd like to financially support the channel, you can do so in a few ways. You can join as a channel member or become a patron. Links to both of those are down below. We've also got our community Discord server linked in the description, where we discuss our gun projects, our favorite movies, and sometimes canned fish. Again, thank you very much for watching. And I've got no more bullets on me. $4.99, so